Hey, what's going on, guys? It's King Andy here, and welcome to part 3 of the Clash Cup playoff predictions video. Today, I have Destiny back on the channel. How's it going, Destiny?
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me back on, Andy.
Of course, happy to have you as always. So today we'll be recapping the quarterfinal results and making our predictions for the semifinals and finals. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first match of the quarterfinal was Undefined versus Evolve. This was actually like a lopsided match. Well, like the results were at least because Undefined ended up winning 3-0, which to me I didn't expect at all. What about you?
Well, I think before I predicted like 3-1, but that was because I thought Kenda Swagger was gonna win, and Kenda Swagger actually ended up getting swept by Zigzag. So it was really tough. But yeah, other than that, man, like Undefined is just really stacked. They have a really good 2v2, great 1v1 players across the board, and the same with King of the Hill. So I'm kind of not surprised it was lopsided. Honestly, the only reason why Evolve was there with that bye week basically was because Ken the Swagger carried them in the 1v1s. But
Yeah,
sadly, it couldn't carry over to the playoffs against Undefined and Zigzag more specifically. So it ended up being lopsided, and I'm not really surprised that it happened because Undefined is really just a better team.
yeah, I can see that, but yeah, I'm surprised Kendo Swagger didn't like. I believe he got swept against Zigzag, which is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, Undefined is just as you said is too stacked. They're actually the only team, spoilers, that didn't get the bye and are in the semifinals.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that's really impressive. All right, going into the next match, we have Instinct NA versus Rising Sun Alpha. So this was also an interesting match. It was also a 3-0 for Rising Sun Alpha. I think Instinct just like ran out of gas against Rising Sun Beta because I had imagined that Rising Sun Alpha like took notes on Instinct when they faced Beta. So I think Rising Sun Alpha like I'd say had the advantage there because of that buy. And again, it shows why
Hmm.
that first round buy is so useful because you get to scout your opponents, you get to heck at the deck information or whatever. So yeah, I think Rising Sun Alpha took advantage of that first round buy and took down Instinct.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, like Instinct. The only set I saw them taking was the Darien matchup against Zumishi. But like even then, Darien lost. I don't know if Bance really played uh like that much into the set because like Darien usually likes to run Giant. So I don't know what was with the arrows and bats bands. Those were kind of interesting. I think what Darien was, I think what Zumishi was thinking was like there would be like a giant graveyard scenario for Darien, and so those bands were kind of interesting in particular. But yeah, other than that, I thought really Rising Sun Alpha was gonna be like a lopsided match for them. I'm surprised it did end up being 3-0. Because I thought it was gonna be like 3-2, maybe 3-1, but they had a better 2v2. They have really good 1v1 players, so um, not entirely surprised of how things went out. But Rising Sun Alpha at the end of the day was a better team, and yeah, I think going back to what you said, taking it all the way to the King of the Hill against Rising Sun Beta with Instinct, I think they just really lost gas after that, and Rising Sun Alpha really just took advantage and was able to get the clean sweep.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to Darian's match, he actually did run like a giant miner poison deck, and I don't know if Zumishi was expecting that, but I believe Darian lost because like of a misclick or something. Like he misplayed a Goblin Cage, and then Zumishi
Mm.
just like took advantage of that. That's how he ended up winning. So yeah, a bit unfortunate because like Darian had that game in the bag too. He would have won 2-1, but that misclick was just horrible.
Yeah.
But it happens. But unfortunate. But yeah. All right, going into the next match, we have Tyranny versus Intellectuals. So I know you wanted to see Blitz face Tyranny, but Intellectuals they barely edged you guys out in King of the Hill, so here they are. Um, Unexpected results though. I didn't expect Tyranny to win 3-1 over Intellectuals. I mean, mainly because one of the sets, Quasim set, got disqualified because he didn't like schedule his match or something. So he got his set disqualified against Amar. So Amar got a free win there. Intellectuals actually won the 2v2 this week. Rishi and Arings actually beat Pikachu and Joe's, which I believe Tierney had like a good 2v2. So Intellectuals, the one time Intellectual wins 2v2, it doesn't really matter because Youngjin lost against Wild Monkey. So Tierney won 3-1. Do you have any thoughts on this match? Or
Yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. I definitely thought it was gonna go to Koth at least. And yeah, it was just really surprising. I think like the predictions that me and Bowser had for intellectuals pretty much flip flopped. We thought that they would do well in 1v1 and would lose in 2v2, but it ended up being exactly the opposite. They took 2v2 and they ended up getting swept in the 1v1. So yeah, the DQ for Kasim really was unfortunate. It would have been a really tough matchup regardless because it is against Amar. So I feel like I still predicted that Amar was going to beat Kasim regardless because I feel like he just has the deck skills to do it. He knows a lot of archetypes, so I definitely thought that Amar could have been Kasim, without a doubt. But yeah, Allah, honestly, I didn't know that this Jin guy was like that number one global
yeah,
tournament finish. If I would have
yeah, yeah,
if I would have known that, I definitely would have picked him for 1v1. Um, because Allah has really been struggling. He struggled a lot late during the season, and it also showed during their first playoff match against us when Allah got swept by Bakith, and like he wasn't really there. He wasn't like he wasn't his normal carrying self for intellectuals. So that Allah loss was not really surprising for me, and Tierney was just able to clean everything up with Wild Monkey against Young Jin. So very surprising. I definitely thought Intellectuals was gonna win this one, but I guess roles just reversed, and Tierney ended up on top 3-1.
yeah. I mean, Allah had a rough playoffs because he lost both of his matches, but he did clutch up the King of the Hill against you guys. But against Jin, like he's just so good. Like that number one global tournament finish is it shows why he got it. All right, so going into the next and final match, it was Funny Bones versus EGS Phoenix. So this one was it unfortunately had another DQ in it. This time on my side. So starting off with 2v2, me and Cars won that 2-1, as you predicted last week. Then CB lost against Zolag, 1-2. And then their Mav got DQ'd because he didn't like schedule the match or something. So that was unfortunate. I think their Mav could have definitely won. So, and then against Surgical J versus Jesus, Surgical J won 2-0. So your prediction was wrong. He may be Jesus, but Surgical Jesus is better. And then I came down to King of the Hill because of that their map set getting DQ'd. And then Surgical J beat the first two guys, and then he lost his match against Zolag by like 100 HP. Otherwise, he would have swept. But then that 100 HP lost made it so that Zolag reverse swept our team. So that was like very unfortunate. And also, their map he lagged out at the last game too, which even hurt even more.
Dang.
Yeah, he was winning too, so that was horrible. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on this matchup?
I thought it was gonna go down to King of the Hill, but again, I thought Surgical J was gonna sweep. So, a lot of surprises. But yeah, I'm very surprised that I feel like their map definitely could have been their Reagan if the DQ didn't happen. So that was really really unfortunate. That would have put you guys. Yeah, you guys would have won 3-1. Because I feel like their map would have won. But yeah, those things happened. Um, very very unfortunate. But sadly, even I know this myself that those are the rules now for Clash Cup. So really unfortunate. But yeah, I thought Surgical J was just gonna clean up shop, and sweep, but it ended up being the other way around. So, I mean, hats off to EGS Phoenix. They're definitely a really good team. But again, I feel like their weakness is 2v2. I feel like other than that, they have some pretty good solid 1v1 players. King of the Hill. especially with Zolag. Zolag's definitely their best player. Um, they have a
Yeah,
pretty strong King of the Hill, but yeah, it was really close. I did expect Funny Bones to, barely edge out EGS, but that didn't end up being the case, and it ended in a pretty spectacular fashion for EGS with the reverse sweep.
yeah. It hurts to go out like this, but there's always next season to come back, and I really hope that EGS does well against Tyranny.
Mm.
But yeah, those are the matches in the quarterfinals. Now let's move on to our predictions. Talking about the first semifinal match is Undefined versus Rising Sun Alpha. I honestly can't tell who's gonna win here. Like I was telling you earlier that if I think like Undefined or Rising Sun Alpha, whoever wins here will win the whole thing. Like that's just me.
Yeah.
But because like these two teams are like incredibly stacked, and this feels like a finals match. Like it doesn't even feel like a semifinal.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely with you. Because like I felt like for me personally, the three most complete rosters were well, ironically, I put Blitz, but I had three. It was Blitz, Undefined, and Rising Sun and Alpha. That was either going to take it all because just across the board, they have like 2v2 extremely well. Same with all the 1v1s and King of the Hill. Obviously, Blitz didn't even make it past intellectuals, but I feel like, yeah, definitely one of these two teams is going to be able to win it all because they just have the most complete lineups. But um, for 2v2, I think I'm still going to have to stick with Cool Soul and Breakfast. Um, I know Rising Sun Alpha also has a really good 2v2, but I mean, in terms of record, and I feel like just consistency and the way they can communicate, I feel like Cool Soul and Breakfast Time might have a little bit more of an advantage there. Um, the 1v1 with Shihi and Zumishi, um, it really depends.
That's hard. Yeah,
This one is very, very hard because Shihi, we know he's a no tilt player, but Zumishi is also really, really good as well. So I definitely think it's just going to be a coin flip. I think it's just going to come down to matchups on this one. Whoever has a better matchup in one particular match is going to end up winning. The following 1v1 set,
Zig,
I feel
Zigzag.
I feel like Zigzag. Yeah, I feel like Zigzag will beat Tempura. He's just been really strong the whole season basically. He also asserted his dominance against Kenda Swagger. So he's just been a really dominant player for Undefined so far, and I think
I'm actually gonna
that's
I'm
gonna
gonna
carry
pause you right
over.
here for a minute
Okay.
because I wouldn't be surprised if Tempura was able to beat Zigzag because he was actually 5-2 in King of the Hill like throughout the regular season, and he's never played a 1v1 set, so this will be his first one. And from what I've seen, at least, he seems like a really good player. 5-2, that's just from King of the Hill, so he's only lost twice, and he's beaten 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a good matchup. I think Zigzag will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tempura upsets here. So
Yeah.
go on. You think the score will be 2-1 at this point or something?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards 2-1.
All right, Trainer Rain versus I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, I can't. I don't know who's gonna win this one. It's gonna be tough. I don't know much about either players, so do you have any info on them?
Um, I mean, Trainer Rain is like so good. I think he has like 7.7k or 7.8k PB. 20 wins, of course. But again, I don't know much about the other opponent to really make a good objectively based decision, I guess you could say. So I feel like this one is also 50-50 in the air. But like regardless, I feel like it is going to come down to King of the Hill. Um,
Yeah,
and
we have Jigsaw versus Dobby,
yeah,
or
I don't know, man. It always hurts to bet against Undefined in King of the Hill, so I gotta stick with them because, I mean, their King of the Hill is just extremely good, like a majority of the
yeah,
times. And the only time really that they faltered or didn't seem like themselves was in the finals last season against you guys, where they kind of just collapsed. But other than that, man, Undefined is just always been really, really solid in King of the Hill, and I can't bet against them, so I think they will take King of the Hill. It's going to be 50-50, but I feel like, you know, Undefined will win 3-2. Hopefully in the last match to make it more exciting, but I feel like for King of the Hill, like Undefined is just really, really good. As you know, closing things out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went 3-2 either way, but I am picking Undefined to win this one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I wanted to go to King of the Hill, but yeah, of course, you never know what can happen. Rising Sun Alpha, as I said earlier, they just completely dominated against Instinct, and Undefined had to play an extra match. So I don't know if that'll affect like the scouting or anything. Because I know Rising Sun Alpha, they definitely like do their scouting because they got like good matchups against Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
So this will definitely come down to King of the Hill, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think anyone will sweep. I can't see. I mean, maybe Zigzag or Aaron Wing will sweep, but I think it'll be like back and forth all the way down to the final game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also like as you said, I'm also picking Undefined here. Not biased or anything because like they're the only Group A team left.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall they're just like dominant, and I think they have a shot at like actually winning this season. All right. So going into the next semifinal match, we have Tyranny versus EGS Phoenix. So this one, I'm not really sure. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, my prediction is actually a sweep for Tierney.
Really?
Yeah, I know, a little bit surprising, but I mean, just look at their first three. It's Joas and Pikachu, and their 2v2 has been pretty good this season. Amar, who, again, like I've said before, just knows a lot of different decks, has a wide variety, and Jin, who finished number one in the global tournament, as we know. But that Jin versus Zolak match is going to be absolutely insane. Those guys are
Yeah, I think
incredible
so
players.
too.
That is definitely going to be the best matchup by far of all the playoffs, I think. So that's definitely going to be one to match. Maybe YouTube record it if possible. That would be
Yeah,
insane. But yeah, I give the edge to 2v2 for Tierney, and I think Amar is just definitely good enough to beat Eti. It is a little bit surprising that they did both ban Graveyard though. That's pretty interesting. I feel like one of them will be running a Firecracker deck, probably Piglets because of that. Because that is really popular, at least for this current meta. So I feel like that's what both of them were thinking when they were banning Graveyard. So it'll be interesting to see there. I know both are really good with cycle decks, so it'll be fun. But I think Amar will just barely edge out Eddie, maybe 2-1. Jin and Zolag, I just give the advantage to Jin because he's just extremely good. The number one GT shows it. But I'm definitely not counting Zolag out, of course. Um, Even if things go south with that initial 3-0 prediction, I still think Tierney ends up winning it. Um, Although Koth kind of scares me a bit because Zolag is extremely good, and Jin surprisingly isn't in King of the Hill.
yeah. That's I was gonna get to that because I think Tierney can definitely win either 3-0 or 3-1. But if it comes down to King of the Hill, I'm giving the edge to EGS.
Yeah.
Just because if they had Amar, Jin, and Rage Quit, I think like that's like unstoppable.
Hmm.
Like maybe even Undefined can't beat it, but I'm surprised that Abdullah's in there. I mean, Abdullah's really good, but I would have put Jin in there.
No, yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I think Tierney wins this 3-1 or 3-0. But if it comes down to King of the Hill, then EGS takes it.
Hmm.
All right, so let's go on to the finals. So we predicted Undefined from the other side, and then Team Tyranny in this side. So Undefined versus Tyranny. This is going to be interesting. I think Undefined will take 2v2 just because Cool Soul and Breakfast they've just been dominant all season.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It's hard to tell who's going to come out because the lineups are right. We're predicting this ahead of time, so we can't see like the lineups. But I imagine Zigzag's going to come out for Undefined. Maybe Al Sheehy. I imagine it's going to be the exact same. They might put like Aaron Wing or Jigsaw in the 1v1s, but I think it'll be Trainer Rain, Zigzag, and Alashi. Same for Tierney. I imagine a Marge and Rage Quit.
Yeah.
Um, it'll just depend like who faces who, but yeah.
Hmm.
Then for what's interesting is 5v5 King of the Hill. So
Yeah, definitely.
like in your opinion, like if you were undefined, if you were Cool Soul, who would you put in a King of the Hill for undefined for like 5v5?
You have to put breakfast time in there. Like,
Have to.
yeah, you have to. You have to put breakfast time. Cool. So I know you've definitely got to be watching this. I mean, we might add a timestamp or something so you come to this part, but you got to add breakfast time. You got to get him back to playing King of the Hill. If I was Kusel, I would put breakfast, Yoshihi, and then the three that are already there usually Jigsaw, Zigzag, and Orangawang. Um, those guys are just going to be extremely solid for you. And I feel like that's going to be an extremely tough King of the Hill to beat, especially adding breakfast time and Il Shihi in there. That's just going to be completely stacked, and it'll be extremely fun to see how it plays out against Tierney.
Yeah, I agree. That exact lineup had that on point. And then for Tierney, you got to put Amar, Jin, and Rage Quit in there. Maybe throw Abdullah in there as the fourth player. And for the fifth, I don't really know who else you put in there. Maybe Wild Monkey because he had a strong performance against Youngjin this week in the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this will definitely be close. I really hope that the previous 3 seasons, every single final has gone to King of the Hill. So will we see this? Will this season be the same, or will a team just completely win 3-0?
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like if Undefined wins 3-0 or 3-1, but I'm hoping it goes to King of the Hill.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely, it'll be extremely fun. I hope for the exact same thing as well. But yeah, I actually was gonna say the same thing. I completely agree with you. For King of the Hill for Tierney, I feel like Wild Monkey, Amar Abdullah, Rage Quit, and Jin is gonna be the move for Tierney to do. Those are just the best five players. Because Joe's and Pikachu are mostly a 2v2 specialist, and Joe's was also he was saying that back when he was in the bar bracket actually, because Joe's was a bar bracket pickup.
Yeah.
But they are mostly 2v2 specialists, so I would stick with their big guns that they have for 1v1. Um, yeah, it'll be extremely fun to see if it does go down to King of the Hill. I definitely can't pick a side really because those are just two extremely stacked King of the Hills that they would have put out if they go with those lineups. But again, we don't have the lineups right now because we haven't reached the finals yet. But um,
This is all speculation. We
all
could be seeing
speculation.
Rising
Yeah,
Sun Alpha versus EGS.
yeah,
You
exactly.
never know.
So we never know. But again, I've been saying it like all year. Like, if it's either one of those three teams, like UND, RSA, or Blitz, it's going to be whoever's like still remaining left is going to take it all. And if UND makes it to the finals, I still think I believe that they would be able to win it.
Well, like what number? Like I would give it like 60 to 40
Oof.
for undefined.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I would honestly agree because I think they're just really dominant in 2v2, and I think they're going to take that pretty easily. So yeah, I think I'd probably give the same thing as well. Maybe 60-40 advantage.
Hmm. So yeah, that's our predictions for the semifinals and finals. Like I'm looking forward to see who comes out on top. It'll be a fun semifinal and finals to watch. So as we predicted undefined in a tourney, but it's all speculation. You never know. Rising Sun Alpha can move on, EGS as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if we're right next week. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'll have all of Destiny stuff in the description down below. And yeah, thanks again for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.